third or fourth or fifth decade of life, जे पेशंट्स 25, 30, 40, 50 वर्षाचे आहेत, म्हणजे थर्ड, फोर्थ, फिफ्थ decade of life, 30, 40, 50 वर्षाचे. These patients are coming in your clinic with the present of history of pain in the right regions, right hypochondric regions, where he is seeing to right lumbar regions, in towards the right leg also partially. He is going to wake complaining pain at the right hypochondric regions. He is presenting with pain at the right hypochondric regions. Along the pain with right hypochondric region, he had the history of anorexia, and he has the history of fever. Pain at right hypochondric regions with fever with anorexia. These three symptoms correlated towards the liver pathology. First, this patient is near about second, third, fourth decade of the life, third, fourth, fifth decade of the life. He is presenting with right hypochondric regions, fever and anorexia. Then you have to suspect some liver pathology or gallbladder pathology. If the gallbladder pathology is there, means simply there is a hepatobiliary pathology. This is your primary diagnosis. What is the hepatobiliary pathology? If the gallbladder pathology is there, he is seeing pain towards the back and pain towards the right shoulder. If he is not seeing pain towards the right side of the back, right side of the shoulder, then delete the liver gallbladder pathology. Then what is the remaining pathology? There is CVD pathology. If CVD obstruction is there, then he has the jaundice. But patient has no jaundice. There is a no discoloration, yellowish coloration of sclera, cornea, skin, other things. Then delete the CVD pathology from your minds. Then you are eliminating the one by one organ, and you are reaching up to the diagnosis. Then what is the diagnosis? The diagnosis is a liver pathology. Because correlate this anorexia with the altered metabolism, liver changes. Liver has decreased the metabolism rate. That's why he suffered from the anorexia. Then second, fever. He had the either history of fever or presenting the fevers. Mean there is an infective focus something. Then either it is only hepatitis or there is some corrections. Then right hypochondric region itself indicates the go to the hepatobiliary. Here the pain is starting. This is the primary history. Then your investigations. What is your first investigations? Primary investigation is to hematology, CBC. Then what is it shows changes. What is the pathology? WBC is increased. This is the first pathology. Then neutrophils is increased. And if you have done some LFTs, then liver enzymes, which is increase in metabolism, is also changed. Most of the time alkaline phosphate is not changed. It is changed in obstructive pathology. That's why only liver enzyme is changed, not bilirubin. Direct, indirect. If the obstructive jaundice is there, there is a biliary changes. If obstructive pathology of the stone, CVD is there, then is alkaline phosphate. But if only a liver metabolism is hampered, then only enzyme is changed. AGOT is changed. This is primary diagnosis. Then what is next diagnosis is a USG. X-ray.
Abscess aसल तर pleural effusion
supportive. If the abscess, definitive diagnosis, we are going to for definitive diagnosis. Then this is a secondary diagnosis for the further complication. USG for what? Liver span, whether it is increase or decrease. Liver span, hepatobiliary. Then some fibrotic changes, some fluid collections. There is some cystic lesions, some cyst, hyperechoic changes, hypoechoic changes or heterogeneous changes. याच्यासाठी फक्त आपण लागत यूज. आता याच्या बात if the patient has breathlessness, if the patient has breathlessness, if the patient is suffering from difficult for the respiratory systems, then you have to suspect there is some subphrenic abscess, subdiaphragmatic abscess. This abscess is if ruptured, then this connection is at below to the diaphragm. This is subdiaphragmatic abscess or subphrenic abscess, and this irritates your diaphragm, and it causes the patient hiccup, discomforts, and this infection enters. This penetrates through the diaphragmatic sheaths, diaphragmatic tissues, and it affects the right lungs, lower lobes, and he has the connections, he has the pleural effusions. This pleural effusion is due to secondary complications of the
Abscess, liver.
this abscess, liver abscess. There are some 7 spaces in the abdomen where the abscess is developed. First is subdiaphragmatic space, second is left subdiaphragmatic space, right paracoroncular, left paracoroncular, right iliac fossa, left iliac fossa, and pelvic fossa. These all abdominal structure had the connections. When patient is in lying positions, some connection is below this diaphragm, left and right. This subdiaphragmatic space. Then this is the pelvic regions. This is the cavity. These are the 7 intra-abdominal spaces where the fluid is collected. That's why most of the time during the examinations, patient should be always in flattened positions. That's why the collection is located at certain levels, in certain space, and you can palpate properly. Whether in right iliac fossa, whether in left iliac fossa, whether in pelvic fossa, or whether in subdiaphragmatic space. This is the big topic, but we are simply going to this. Then X-ray has a main importance to spread. We are going to one by one stage. You give definitive diagnosis. Then when you confirm this is liver abscess, if it is ruptured, you can show it. But if this is ruptured, this abscess is ruptured in the USG. If USG had interpreted there is some fluid collections below the diaphragm, then you suspect this is ruptured. Then now your next job is to search the pleural effusions. For this, X-ray is important. Diagnosis is WB is hematology, then USG, then X-ray. If patient is affordable, then go for CT scan for the complete thing. The amoebic Entamoeba histolytica or OHAS स्टूल एक्झामिनेशन आहे. त्या स्टूल एक्झामिनेशन मध्ये काय प्रेझेंट असेल तर OHAS. मग from where the OHAS comes? It is from the Entamoeba histolytica, means amoebic OHAS. If pyogenic abscess is there, there is a no OHA presence. For stool examination, clinical significance is whether it is a pyogenic or whether it is amoebic. Then how the amoebic abscess develop? Okay. Pathophysiology of amoebic abscess. Okay. For that things you have to know the mesenteric circulations. Mesenteric circulations. This IMA, inferior mesenteric vessels, comes from the rectum, from sigmoid colon, from descending colon, and from half of the transverse colon. This IME, this is the inferior mesenteric veins. This inferior mesenteric veins come up to periphery of the liver. Then SMA, superior mesenteric vessels. These superior mesenteric vessels come from the esophagus regions, stomach regions, whole small intestines, cecum, ascending colon, and some part of the transverse colon. Some part of the transverse colon. This whole structure is supplied by SMA, superior mesenteric veins. These superior mesenteric vessels, inferior mesenteric vessels, these splenic vessels form the common portal vessels. These common portal veins enter into the livers. Means, see, splenic vessels, SMV, IMV, gastroepiploic. These all forms the portal veins. Portal veins into the liver from inferior vena cava. And it then enters into the
Right.
huh? right
Atrium.
huh?
Atrium. Right.
right atriums. This, when patient had ingested infected foods or waters with containing the amoebas, this all travels from your the circulations, digestive systems, via the mesenteric circulation. It enters from GIT to the mesenteric blood supply. And from mesenteric circulation, it enters and dislodges in the livers. They are creating the cyst around him. After creating the cyst around